For anyone listening, with these shoot the shits, I'm not always trying to fucking do a full background interview. I want to just have a really good discussion with somebody that I respect in the industry. Talk to everyone just a real quick history of how you came into 2 buildings and then into 2 brands. Like, give me the 2-minute wrap up.
What was that thing that I wanted to dedicate my life to? And I was like, I spent all my life like on fitness, on training, on nutrition, just learning about that in my free time. So I was like,
because of baseball?
Not necessarily. Just more, that was more of my interest, and it definitely helped me in baseball, sure. But it wasn't necessarily 100% because of that. So yeah, I just decided, okay, when I get back, I'm gonna get my level 1. I'm gonna apply to every gym within a 50-mile radius, which ended up being the 3 gyms at the opposite side of that radius, which there was a few days where I went to all 3 in the same day. From there, I was trying to convince my dad and my brother to get into CrossFit. And they did. They tried it up here. They were living up here. And then my dad was like, well, how about if I find a real estate investment, you move back home, you and your brother open up the gym. Yep. And he bought both buildings, thinking that he was going to rent this one out just to any tenant. We would just use the smaller building next door, the 4,000 square foot building. And then after about a year and a half, he was having trouble renting this because this one's double the size, but it has the same amount of parking, which isn't a lot. Yeah. So it's really tough to find a tenant in this building. And we were doing good in the one building. So we're like, screw it. Let's just go for the 2 buildings. And it was about 18 months to 2 years of growing pains where it was not a good idea for us to expand.
Was that with just one brand?
That was one brand.
That's CrossFit Palm Beach?
CrossFit Palm Beach. That was the original brand.
So you had it in 2 locations. So what was that? So like you could run a 4 p.m. and a 4:30 over here? Like how did that work with 2 buildings for one company?
Initially, the thought was, okay, we'll run a boot camp program. We'll launch some specialty classes. We'll run kids classes. And now we can run 2 classes simultaneously, since we were filling up most of our classes over there. But looking back, you're so naive doing that. And it really, like, the boot camp program started and stopped multiple times. And until we relaunched it as Beach Fit with someone who had experience launching that type of program, and we really made it its own brand, that's when we had success with it. So that was over 2 years into expanding into the 2 buildings, 2016, I believe. Okay. And then that's where things just took off.